Singapore. Team Singapore currently 1 game up against their opponents, ready to move on into the grand finals. Will this Hellcat be the factor required to counter in the world?
Oh boy, oh boy. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be Team Philippines versus Singapore, game number 2, with the plot twist of the Diggy to try and counter-attack all the CC-oriented playstyle that Singapore is bringing to the table. Likewise, with the Hellcat on board. Hopefully things are going to be a little bit better, but we do see a little bit of harassment at JPL, which I did not expect this. Is going to be playing on the Roamer role. I told you. See,
wait a minute. This is a JPL Popol and Koopa. And an Adamir gold lane Edith. He is planning to build Edith as a DPS instead of setting up kills with onwards here. This is an interesting style. I want to see if this works.
That's why you gotta trust Icy Baby, man. Icy Baby's done his homework. Adamir, ever since his introduction to MPL, he was a very, very amazing XP laner, and I really like how they're doing this. But question remains is that, is it the right call? I'm just gonna put a full stop there. Is it the right call?
At the very least, right now, we can see that both teams are putting a lot of focus onto their gold lane. They know that Gonzalez and Adamir are going to be their primary win conditions. So both Villa Luna and JPL are going to be giving their respective gold laners a bit of a hand to ensure that they will scale up better into the mid game.
Yep, and I'm looking forward to see how it happens as of Team Philippines. They're still playing a little bit defensively. Likewise, coming from Singapore, I was expecting a little bit more aggression, but in terms of trade-offs, it's going to be very, very difficult, right? If you think about game 1, Team Singapore was a little bit more tanky, but now game number 2, they are a little bit more squishy. You can see that Adamir is trying to go for bait and trying to clear our minions. Gonzalez looking for the one pump. I feel like he can get the kill. JPL is in the vicinity, and I feel like Adamir is trying to bait this out for the team. And here comes a snipe coming in, and Gonzalez going to be focusing on the minions instead.
But Del Rosario are going to be able to find Soul in. The bush gets pulled back by the time reversal. Dark Knight Fall is going to be popped right down. Real World Manipulation does not save Del Rosario, but will get the kill onto Madison in return. JPL now slightly out of position, but a Dawning Light will stop Team Philippines' attempt.
Well, this is huge. Both the junglers has been taken on 1-for-1, but surprise, surprise, the Diggy setup for the Real World Manipulation is actually going to keep anyone in place in Real World Manipulation for the full duration of damage, and this is actually helping them out. Team Philippines now going to have the benefit of help deal a little bit more damage with the Electro Final Blow to clear off the minions. So this is going to be the Team Philippines special coming in with giving them now a 1k lead over Team Singapore.
We are already seeing that Team Philippines is actually accelerating the momentum of this game because they know that Team Singapore are actually capable of stopping them from playing safe in the mid game. They can't afford to take those risks anymore. They can't just say, no matter what, we will scale up, because we've already seen proof that that is not the case. We'll see whether or not this accelerated movement will be enough. As a flicker forward from Adamir, will he be able to catch out Gonzalez? The Popol and Koopa are going to be jumping in, gets him. He blocks the shot from Wesker, but it's not going to be enough. They find Adamir.
Oh, that is huge coming in from for Gonzalez as well. JPL needs to make a run for it as well. Real Manipulation can't seem to finish him off. Goes for the preemptive measure, but the Darkness Fall saves his life a little bit more as JPL narrowly escapes it all. So that was a close call, but still Gonzalez tried his best but won't be taken out.
That's just unfortunate there for Imam. He could not see where JPL was because of the Dark Knight Falls, and that allows the Popol and Koopa to walk out. But Adamir going to be targeted yet again, taking a lot of damage from Tortoise. Prezant able to run away under the tower. Almost gets sniped, but pops the Primal Wrath and gets a revenge kill onto Villa Luna. Philippines going to have to retreat.
Yeah, you can see Villa Luna giving a lot of information despite the death. And the beauty about this is, well, it is very, very much possible of cancelling regens and recall if Team Singapore decides to back off. So this is going to be a little bit of an annoyance later stage into the game. But Team Philippines, they need to help their lives, because as of now, here comes another attempt with Reminiscent pulling at the Hellcat. And this is exactly how you pick off towards Team Philippines' composition, by giving them the blindness.
Yeah, that Dark Knight Falls, we already saw that it was very effective against Team Philippines when they were playing against Myanmar yesterday, and now Team Singapore are using it against them. Zayla dropping real low to the Real World Manipulation, but he is able to walk out JPL, buying him lots of space.
This is very, very annoying to deal with. But Team Soul now with the Hunter Strike available on the Dirov. Not exactly sure it is going to be enough. However, that is going to be giving a little bit of edge in when it comes to 1v1 matchups. But as of yet, Turtle is going to be contested as well. Team Singapore is looking for harass as well. JPL going a little bit of zoning tactic. Team Philippines, they may need to get it as well. And that is going to be the Eden stealing a Turtle. And Del Rosario missing the steal. But Adamir will be forced to sacrifice his life. But the Turtle is in the hands of Team Singapore. However, they will trade 1-for-1. Gonzalez for Adamir.
That's going to be pretty worth it for Team Singapore, though. They trade out their gold lane for the enemy gold lane and are able to secure the turtle on top of it. And all things considered, Adamir was the one to get the last hit, not even the jungle. They now want to use this advantage in the bottom lane.
Yeah, that is a huge play coming from Adamir. However, Adamir as well is, I think he's going to be playing an XP lane, right? He's going to be going for a full tank on Edith, and eventually into a later stage game, JPL is going to be scaling into the DPS department. I believe that's pretty much the right idea of what Singapore is going to be going onto it. Okay, yeah, let's take a look at the items here before real quick. Yes, he is going to be going for the defensive measure, while JPL is going to be going for the master. So it's going to be a little bit of a difference in terms of timing, but when they get to this later stage game, they will eventually scale very similarly to a standard draft.
Yeah, especially when you consider that Team Singapore, all of their heroes will be able to output a good amount of damage. Of course, Team Philippines, they have a solid late game as well, but they're already starting. JPL instantly dropping to the real world manipulation. Gonzalez gets the trade against Adamir in the bottom lane as well with the help of Villa Luna. So Team Philippines fighting back.
That is huge. That is a huge pick-off. Knowing that Team Singapore is going to be able to scale with Sayla, with the Xavier, but at the same time, JPL is also going to be the secret sauce, and Team Philippines is going to be able to punish this. However, there is going to be a pause calling in. Seems like there is going to be some sort of issues. However, the players are ready, and we're going to be going into the game once again, as we saw Team Singapore getting very, very focused, and it looks like they are going to try and force an issue. Team Philippines, they're back in action. Adamir going for the stand-up as well. They're going for the catch. However, his damage taking a little bit too much, and he's going to be forced to disengage with his out. So Singapore will lose out a little bit of trade. However, the turret is up for grabs. Adamir going to be leading the charge as well, as Team Philippines still deciding if they want to go for it as well, considering that the Darkness Fall is still available.
Yeah, this is going to be a 4v4, and Philippines are doing secure it. Time Journey already popped down to keep them alive. Soul dropping real low as Soto is in the backline on top of Adamir. They find Soul instantly, and the rest of Team Singapore has to back this off.
Oh, big plays coming from Philippines as well. Immediately focusing out on Turtle, but looks like Team Philippines is not over yet. Del Rosario looking for the pay, but the Koopa coming in to stop the Shield Unity is going to help them stop the aggression. However, it's not over yet. Team Philippines wants to take a mid-control. Here comes the Real Motivation. Selena taking a little bit too much damage. He's going to be forced to back out. Using the Sonic comes in, and Gonzalez down to his half health. And Adamir is still deciding if he wants to go for it, but seems like he is going to focus on Soto instead. Doesn't seem to have the damage, but looks like he's going to be caught out like the final blow. Here comes the flicker, and now you can see Soto will get an easy pickings alongside with Imam, giving the thumbs up. Freebies up for grabs as Team Philippines will lead that fight again.
Adamir, unfortunately, jumping in a little bit too early. He wanted to go for Soto, but the problem with Evif is that you need to tank a lot of damage before you can do a lot of damage, and he didn't have enough HP. But they get a trade in return. Soul with the Abysm strike set up by Sayla picks up Ima.
That is big for both Sayla as well, because that is going to be a little bit of redemption, and I like how this role switch coming from Singapore, where they're going to send Adamir as the meat shield to try to deny away and stray away attention for the side of Team Philippines to allow Reminiscent and Sayla to come on one line. And with that in play in mind, they will be able to scale really well. But looks like Adamir is going to be starting to fight again. Here comes the Darkness Ball. Here comes Time Journey. Actually going for the disengage. They almost chunk him out. However, getting a little bit aggressive means Adamir is going to be paid with his life. Electro Final Roll coming from Soto to re-engage, but Singapore gets the full disengage. The Reminiscent needs the purple buff. Can he get it? Yes, he will, but is he going to get a little bit more? JPL, however, going to get caught out at the edge of the fight as well. Real Manucci comes in to slow him down. He's going to get caught out, pulls back as well, but they do not have the damage to finish him off. So close plays, but Philippines manages to scare Singapore off.
If JPL did not have sprint up there, he was confirmed dead. So it's lucky he's able to escape from that, but that was just a mistake by Singapore. They jumped in trying to kill Del Rosario with the Dark Knight Falls, but the Baxia, again, a little bit too tanky right now. Soul going to take a lot of damage from Soto. The rest of Team Philippines right on top of the turtle. They want to go for this.
Adamir tries to make the play, misses though as well. The Earth Shatter connects with Gonzalez. Likewise, coming with Dawning Light. Gonzalez needing to make a run for it as well. As Time Journey also going to be expanded. Likewise, coming with Darkness Fall. And it's going to be the full reset coming from Team Philippines. Singapore wants to fight again, but it seems like they are going to back off and reset this fight as they don't exactly have the tools to fight on against Team Philippines.
What's dangerous now for Team Singapore is that even though they are taking these fights pretty evenly against Team Philippines, it is Philippines right now which are farming so quickly. They already have a 4K net worth lead, even though it looks like they've been fighting about the same amount as Team Singapore. I don't know how they do it, but this is going to allow them to really scale up.
Pay attention to the minimap as well, because if you think about it, Singapore can't exactly outmatch the clear speed, and constantly, time and time again, Soto is just pressuring the bottom lane, making sure that Singapore can't group up as fight. And the thing about this composition for Team Singapore is they need to group up as fight in order to win fights. And Team Philippines taking a different approach is really smart.
Yeah, I really like this Benedetta in this situation. Usually, I'm not a big fan of this hero, but the Philippines have definitely drafted it for this exact reason. And if they're able to constantly separate Soul from the rest of his team, that sets up for the rest of them to take better fights.
Exactly, but seems like a better fight is about to happen as well, because now Rosario is going to force the Toys for Sons to work with Sayla as well as JPL. But the question still remains, because right now, they don't exactly have enough damage to shut off those Rosario. They need Soul in this fight, and it's so worrisome because right now they're calling in Soul in, but Team Philippines say, I don't care. Soto, split push, send him back, pull him away from the rest of the teams before we fight. But looks like it's going to be the issue as well, because Soto is going to get caught out. Here comes the combo, but a great eye-to-eye timing from Soto to escape the grass. However, the turret will be lost in the hands of Singapore as they lose the tier 2 down bottom to the minions.
Soto has been doing such a good job here of split pushing, even surviving that attempt. Now you can see that Philippines has the very obvious power advantage against Team Singapore and are still continuing to build up their network lead. Team Singapore, they're just being wrung dry right now because their members have to be split up across the map to deal with these minion waves.
Well, JPL first purchased the Helper coming in. It's going to be a way to counter negate the regens coming in from the Boxia, but I don't think it's going to be enough. He needs a little bit more. So, however, that kind of immortality means anytime soon Singapore may look to opt to choose to go for a fight. Gonzalez, however, getting harassed by Koopa a little bit, but slowly but surely we do see JPL have some sort of damage despite being the roamer marksman he is.
We can see right now that Team Singapore are actually very wary of the Philippines, and they're making an attempt here. They want to catch Adamir, pops the time reversal into Renner's Elation. Massive damage. He's still able to walk out. Dawning Light not doing nearly enough in return. They have control over the Lord Pit, and Soto is still split pushing.
I like how Team Philippines is very aware on what Team Singapore is trying to do. Lure them into a choke point and then allow Zayla to get a big Dawning Light. This is a strategy that is so commonly used by so many teams that Team Philippines has to understand that we don't need to force a 5v5 fight. As long as we have the split push potential, we will eventually get objectives. However, it is the same to be said from Team Singapore. Yes, we are trading 50-50 stalemates, but if we scale into the later stage of the game, there is a very high possibility that Singapore is going to be able to eventually find a way to chunk down Del Rosario Bastian.
I do agree with you there. The question is whether or not they will hit that point in the late game. Gonzalez already has 9k gold on himself. Soto is second top. Zayla gonna get caught out by the time reversal right on top of Del Rosario. He's in trouble. Will actually be able to get out. No, he will not. JPL are the unfortunately only survivor there, as both Madison and Zayla are instantly picked off even under Dark Knight Fall.
Oh, that was so unfortunate. Great catch coming from Team Philippines for that play. However, even with the Darkness Fall, they lose Reminiscence and Sayla. But imagine the Darkness Fall not dropping in. They might have lose Soul as well. But as of yet, looks like they are going to force the issue. Soul does have the immortality as they go for the fight. Adamir trying his best to chip him all down. They're down to his low health. But Team Singapore, they can't seem to figure it out. JPL does have the damage, but they can't seem to clean out. Team Philippines a little bit hesitant to go in for the finish, but eventually will get the Lord for free as JPL not opting to go for the contest.
There's just not much he's going to be able to do by himself. This is a 1v5 situation. And even Soto fighting the backline, just delaying time. He's been doing an excellent job on this Benedetta. Singapore now are in a very bad situation. A 7k net worth lead for the Philippines. It is approaching the point where it's going to be very difficult to actually make a comeback.
Well, with the Lord pushing down from the bottom side as well, Team Singapore doing a fair fight as well. Soto gonna get caught out. They are trying their best to finish off. Electro final will come. Soto is gonna keep him alive, but the Dawning Light, patience from Sayla predicts his movement, anticipates him to be there, gets the job done. However, despite 4v5, Team Philippines still has the Lord on their side. Singapore has to make a way to make it away as well. Real Mission comes in, he's gonna focus on Zayla, and Zayla gets caught off by the slows of Imam, and that is gonna be the main down from the side of Team Singapore. Reminiscent is forced to go in for the split push and to mirror this, and right now they don't have anyone defending against this Lord coming in from Team Philippines. A big healthy chunk on the inhibitor. Enemy forced to go to ultimate as well, using his life, but he might actually die, but he is trying his best to delay the Lord. But Reminiscent will be able to trade an inhibitor as well. Nicely done coming from Team Singapore.
All things considered, that is a very good trade. Getting an entire lane of towers and an inhibitor, that is way more than Team Singapore should have been allowed to take. And Team Philippines, they were hoping to be able to get a little bit more with that. They'll just have to settle with what they got. Reminiscent, though, in trouble. Pop the Dark Knight Falls should allow him to get out.
Oh, Dawning Light doesn't seem to connect anyone. They need to be careful. Reminiscence goes for the side step, but guess what? This is going to be a trap. That Rosario really forced the Type journey to actually get out of the situation. They want to fight under tier 2, but JPL taking a little bit too much damage from Gonzalez as he snipes away, and eventually they will get the kill on Animer, but the trades are coming in. Soto, however, getting the sneaky rat he is, as Team Philippines will take another inhibitor away from Team Singapore. Oh my, this is close. This is close.
Yeah, but this feels so annoying to play against here. Team Singapore trying their best to counter the team fights, but they're just losing out in split push. JPL getting dropped real low. Dawning Light not gonna do too much as the final inhibitor on the side of Team Singapore is going to fall to the Philippines.
Nicely done coming from Team Philippines. They get all the inhibitors and they are going to be taking objectives. And guess what? Right on time as well. 30 seconds before the next Lord. Team Philippines may consider freezing out the lane. Meanwhile, Singapore is going to try and make something happen with the split push at Soto. Consistently pressuring the bottom lane, but looks like Team Singapore, they want to pick a fight. Soto needs to be a little bit careful. He's thinking about it. He might be walking into the bush right here. Team Singapore, they might maybe go for a play. Looks like they won't catch him. The silent comes in, but the Dawning Light from Zayla completely misses the shot, and Soto won't survive that. Such a close call for Singapore, but Philippines will be able to escape this.
That was an perfect use of an eye for an eye, getting a 3-man stun on Singapore. Zayla missing that Dawning Light is going to cost them, because getting that kill onto Soto would have been huge to keep Singapore in this game.
Oh, that is so unlucky. Oh, you hate to see moments like this, but at the same time, it's not over yet. Singapore, they're starting to scale a little more. They have a lot of economy in that regard, but looks like they are going to force the issue, because Animer is going to get a freebie ontowards Del Rosario, who's trying his best to survive this, but this is going to be the bait. Real Reminiscence connects on 3, but here comes from the side as well. Reminiscence goes over the side. A big Dawning Light connects on 5, but they can't seem to finish them off. They poke them all away, but eventually Gonzalez is going to be able to pick them apart, as this healthy Beatrix is getting kills after kills. Double kill for Team Philippines, and Singapore, can they do something about this? Well, here comes another Dawning Light, almost taking Imam, but it's not going to be enough. Look at this. Imam, JPL is going for the concealed play. Okay, looks like he's going to be backing off.
He does not manage to find Imam there, who was hoping to be able to get the trade off, but that does end up being a 2-for-2 trade for both teams. All things considered, again, considering that Singapore are as far behind in net worth as they are, that is actually not bad at all. And if they can continue delaying this game long enough, they might be able to find an opportunity. But Team Philippines, their mental right now is going to be at 100%. They know that this is their point in the game. And when you know that in these situations, they very rarely make mistakes.
Exactly, but Team Singapore, they need to find an option to push down, because if you think about it, based on all the towers coming in from Team Philippines, they've got the tier 1 down mid, they've got a tier 1 down bottom. Singapore, they need to find a way to open up the map, and it's very difficult to do so because of all this map control that Philippines is prioritizing. But still, all in all, now we're heading towards late game territory. Look at the items coming in. JPL is one item before going for the max slaughter, so-called roamer marksman, and once he gets his final item, this is where we start to see JPL start to hit a little bit on par. But Animer is going to force the fight. He gets a little bit nice of a fight as well, but Time Journey comes in. So going for the side, trying to pick a big AoE damage. He gets the job done, but they can't seem to have the finisher. But instead, Villa Luna as well as Imam will pick up the pieces of Team Singapore as they clean up their kills. And Sailor also going to be caught out. And just like that, they lose 3. And this might be JG. JPL finally showing himself, but I don't think he can do too much. Forced to go for the concealed plays. And it is going to be a 2v5 situation. Philippines, they are going to go ignore the Lord.
Yeah, they're just gonna push straight in. No inhibitors left. They want to end this game in their favor.
Oh, no.
JPL instantly gives the mega kill over to Imam Adamir, the only one left alive, but no cooldowns. Unstoppable going over to Gonzalez. And the Philippines not going down without a fight evens up our semi-final series against Team Singapore.
GGWP, and you can see Team Philippines very, very happy with that comeback with game number 2 in the bag. Means we are going to be seeing a full game